guys, welcome to Garbage Time Sports. And on today's episode, Brandon will be carrying all the weight because I did little to no research all week.
Wow. I don't know what to say about that one, Hoot.
Well, okay, there's reasons. And I say all week. I mean, it hasn't been all week. It was mainly I was very upset over the Arkansas loss to Ole Miss.
That sucked.
It did. It was really heartbreaking, but you know, I mean, once again, it was another good season
Incredible
for the Razorbacks.
season, number 3.
Yeah, and you know,
And when the dust settles, it'll be number 3.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I don't think that's justifiably,
Yeah.
you know, or justifiable, I should say. It was heartbreaking because, man, the Razorbacks really just took the hardest road they could possibly take to get there.
They really did.
They were like, "What can we do to make this harder?" And Dave's like, "I mean, you guys could lose," and they're like, "We'll do that." And he's like, "Nah, dude, don't do that."
We'll put all the pressure on that last game.
Yeah, that way, you know, it's a real pressured pot, and you know, we ended up losing it 2-0. You know, wah wah.
Yeah, it really is a gut punch whenever you lose a elimination game.
Yeah.
By a score that you know that you can accomplish in an inning.
Yeah, because I mean, we proved it the night before.
A good hot inning, and boom, you're winning the game.
We came out and smacked the dog out of Ole Miss the night before, which is what happened to us last year with NC State, though. You know, we come out, we beat the pants off them like 426 runs to nothing, and they had to call it in the 7th inning. And then the next 2 games, we just lost. We just didn't ever score another run. I don't know. It's crazy to me. So anyway, the Hogs are out, and college baseball is over. The Ole Miss, I mean, they still wear Rebels, but I mean, like they're like the Black Bears, the Land Sharks, the Rebels,
What are they now?
the rebellious Bear Sharks.
It's so stupid. I understand.
Yeah, sure. The Johnny Reb thing.
I understand the Johnny Reb thing. I'm just saying that the name that they picked was so stupid.
But the whole thing is that they're still the Ole Miss Rebels.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, their jersey still says Rebels across the front, and it's like, but we've got the Man Bear Pigs.
Well,
the Ole Miss Man Bear
That's the
Pigs.
thing is, you still could have branded it with Rebel, just picked a different type of Rebel.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Hello.
There's branding right there. Put Disney as a sponsor.
Boom.
Made,
Done,
made
bro.
full.
Trying to get that Disney money. Be careful though. You know, Disney will pull. They'll pull your card.
Okay, I'm
gonna say
a damn heartbeat.
Yeah, you live in Mississippi anyway. They're gonna pull your card just for that.
Yeah, I talked about it on the previous podcast we recorded that I walk on eggshells at my new job. Working for Disney, no, that's walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
They'll snap it out from underneath you
Yeah,
like
man.
that. And then they'll turn around and dangle it right back in front of you. Just ask Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny's like,
Did you hear that story? I know we're on sports, but did you hear that story that they're offering them, allegedly offering them the Pirates of the Caribbean back?
bro, if I was Johnny Depp though,
You turn them down?
no, I that's the direct opposite. No. I'd be like, you know what? The cash cow needs to be milked. I'll take it. Let's do it. Because, I mean, honestly, Johnny Depp, even before the allegations and stuff, he wasn't doing much. You know what I'm saying? He's Johnny Depp. He's made his money.
Yeah, he's a made man.
Yeah.
He's
I don't mean that as
like-
in like he ain't. I just mean like
He's played so many characters and iconic characters
Yeah.
in themselves that, yeah, right. He doesn't ever have to work another day of his life.
Tim Burton made that dude so much money, and vice versa. Johnny Depp made Tim Burton a lot of money. You know, I mean, because you got to think.
Now Amber Heard's going to give Johnny a lot of money.
Amber Heard. Excuse me. Sorry, that's not. That's a childish joke. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. The old piss Man Bear Pigs ended up winning.
They did. And then the thing about it is, I still feel, given another game, things may have been different.
I would have been, no doubt, but you know,
It is what it is. It's one of those things that, you know, anybody can win a game on any given night, and they just didn't come to play that particular night.
Yeah, and what's so crazy is like defense looked incredible. Our final game, our pitching looked good. Everything looked real good. It's just we could not. We just couldn't score.
I'm going to say it. Does this put Dave in the category of can't win the big one?
I'm going to go ahead and say no. Okay. And I get the
Why?
argument. Exactly. I understand that argument because, I could say, he's been there like 8 times. Right.
Right.
He's been there 8 times and no win. Baseball is such that how much of it can you really put on a manager or a coach? How much of that can you really put on him? Like
A lot. I will make the argument as much as you can in any other sport because in a football you're going to have coordinators.
Sure.
In baseball you're going to have that manager making the calls of who's getting the next at bat, who's going to be switching in and out for the pitching, even calling signals from base coach. They come from the manager. So
Yeah.
I would argue a lot.
Sure, but I mean that comes back to and now you have to understand that I am really kind of basing this on the last game.
Yeah,
because that's what's freshest
yeah.
on my memory.
Yeah, no, it's fair, and that's what's most relevant is right now.
Yeah.
Because what he's done in the past matters ass next season.
Yeah, exactly. And just like this doesn't matter at all come next season. But okay, so here's my thing. The reason I say that is because once again, defense was on point. Base running was on point. All of our outs came from either.
Yeah, there weren't dumb plays.
Yeah,
they didn't make dumb
yeah,
plays. They just
exactly.
weren't getting hits.
And it wasn't like coach told me to steal second and I got thrown out. Stuff like that didn't happen. It just we struck out or there were flyouts everywhere. Oh my God! At the third baseman of Ole Miss, just like, hey, look what I found 3 times in a row, like line drive. I'm talking bullets, and he's catching.
I don't know. I'm going to have to say I'm on the other foot. I love DVH. I think he's one of the best things that ever happened to the Arkansas Razorback University, much less this baseball program.
Sure.
But until he wins the big one, he is in that category of you can't win the big one to me.
Well, and
He's Peyton Manning before he won a Super Bowl.
Sure. Well, and look at what happened once he finally won one. He's remembered. He's got a giant bust in the Hall of Fame.
And forehead.
His bust had to be bigger than everyone else's because he's got a 6 head. It ain't 4, it ain't 5, that's 6. He don't have dreams, he has motion pictures, okay?
Let's not jump subjects, but those Hall of Fame busts are always awful.
They are. It's like, who is this?
Who tried? Did you even try?
The sculptor is just like, no, I didn't. You're like, all right. DVH. I don't think that where you're at is necessarily wrong. Until he proves himself, he is the guy who can make it there but can't win.
Because now I'm getting to the point where I'm second guessing him in big games.
Well, okay, but you gotta look at some. Okay, let's look at the 2 closest that we've gotten. Okay, this year, and of course the 2018 actual World Series against Oregon State, right? Yeah. So
it's a great team. Should have won.
Yeah, should have won. Carson Shaddy is the reason we lost that. Not DVH. Carson Shaddy single-handedly lost us that series. And now that's not, I know what you're thinking. Well, we had to play another game after that. That's not fair. If it's not fair for Carson, then it's not fair for Dave. Dave's not on the field. Carson Shaddy ran all the way to the first base foul territory where the right fielder and first baseman were, calls everyone off, and misses the fly. Are you serious? Get out. Hey, good luck to you, Carson. I think you're still in Baltimore or something.
I don't know.
Whatever. Anyway, lost us a series. Anywho, anyway, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you on why you think that about Van Horn.
You're just for giving me the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, of course. I'm a relentless optimist. And I know that sounds crazy because I am also a
relentless pessimist.
Pessimist, yeah. But when it comes down to sports, like, I guess it's look, I'm not trying to draw a comparison. I was a little league coach, okay, but because I have coached before and I have had that feeling of like, there's only so much I can do for you here. So like, I sympathize with it. I get it. I'm like, there's only so much he can do, But at the same time,
it's his job to train them to where they can think independently and be one mind as a team out there.
I would say, but once again, they did that.
They didn't hit. That's what it comes down to.
But that's where it really comes down to. is the fact that in the big
I
games,
guess
we
you're right.
don't rattle bats.
I guess you're right. At the end of the day, it's really on the hitting coach.
That's right. Now we're talking.
But
Straight
no.
off, Dave, all right?
No, what I'm really saying is I guess sometimes when it comes down to that game, that elimination game, I feel like sometimes he lets pitcher go too long. Sometimes I feel like he will call a shift on the defense that's like, well, you didn't need to call that shift because
Yeah. Now, defensive shifts that I've seen, most of the time,
it works.
It does work. And the infielders are the ones who are calling the shifts.
Yeah.
Because, like, Robert Moore and Jalen Battles, look, man, if I'm playing first base and Robert Moore looks at me and is like, hey, you need to go to shallow right field instead of covering your base, I'm like, that's stupid, but I'll do it because I think you know what you're talking about.
Fair enough.
Man, I got to be honest with you, though. Robert Moore is, this incredible baseball player. But if I have to hear about how his dad is the CEO of the Kansas City Royals one more time, I'm like, who cares?
It's only going to be relevant when he's drafted by the Naturals and then's in their farm team. Otherwise, who cares?
Yeah, like, why do we...
And honestly, if he is in the management of the Royals, he truly needs to evaluate with his head, not his heart, because you don't need to be picking people just because you know somebody.
Yeah, right. But I will say this, whatever team lands Robert Moore, they have landed themselves an incredible second baseman. He is very good. Jalen Battles the same way at shortstop. Jalen Battles is his style, and this year his number is all Jeter, baby. It really is. He's that good. I believe that. I truly believe that. And you know how I feel about the captain.
I do.
I say now. I'm not saying Jalen Battles is as great now as Jeter was, at the height of being Derek Jeter.
Yeah, no.
But he's well on his way. I truly think
He's a biracial angel.
He's a biracial angel, and so is Jalen. Okay,
You should have shot A-Rod.
yeah, should have shot a Yankee Clipper. Anyway, yeah. So the Hogs lost. That's a thing. We're only 68 days away from football.
Hey, something to look forward to.
Yeah, because dog days of summer right now. I'm like, we can talk baseball, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't watch all the games right now. Like I'm that sixth inning guy. I'm like, sixth inning, I'll watch the rest of that. Up until that like seventh inning lasts too long, then I'm like, nah, I gotta go. I ain't got time for this.
See, I can't even do like college baseball at all, so I haven't touched baseball much other than our occasional when we tried to root for a team.
Yeah.
I've been following the Yankees through highlights every night, but I haven't sat down and watched the game.
And, box scores, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
But it's exciting to see that, it's a great season in the Bronx right now because I've been of the argument that when the Yankees and the Red Sox and these teams are at the best, it's best for baseball.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
It's better for baseball whenever teams like the Yankees and the Red Sox are in contention as opposed to the Chicago
Braves.
White Sox and the Guardians.
Yeah.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Yeah. Who are the Guardians again?
Indians.
Cleveland
Cleveland Guardians.
Caucasians. All right. Guardians?
Yeah.
I know it was satirical, but I saw the design for the Cleveland Caucasians, and I thought that was
Better idea.
Bro, that was so ill. I was like, I love it. Like,
I guess I don't like. I understand what they try to do is they try to somehow keep in line with tradition, somehow like absorb some of that history and make it anew. But I mean, if you're doing this thing, it's like the Commanders. It's like it wasn't a hard enough reset.
Nah.
Like you needed to pick like a new animal.
Yeah, like how about this, man? The Washington crack dealers. I mean, that's a good representation of D.C. There's a lot of crack dealers in D.C.
Yeah, there's also a lot of shady politicians in D.C.
Right. Which, I mean, could have made them the Washington Trumpers. Trumper dumper, baby. Let's do it. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. For any sports fans out there that hate me because I do a Trump voice, get over it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it's not going to go anywhere. In fact, it might stick around forever now. Okay, who knows? I know. They know. And they know that I know. So, yeah, I am kind of with you. I am kind of with you on, like, I'll even get on board with this whole, like, it's offensive. You can't say, So we should
Insert whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Yeah, insert whatever. And we're talking about like the Washington Redskins. Okay. I understand. Listen, I've heard all the stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
like that team was named by an Indian chief.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, and I've read the story, and if
Ble-
it's true, then
it was
sure, that's great.
Blessed by a medicine man.
Yeah, by an Eskimo medicine man. It's always cold anyway. But so okay, but you still call it the Washington Redskins. So I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
You can change that. I
Yeah.
get that. And they're like, the Commanders. I was like, why wouldn't you just change it to like, Seminoles or, Warriors,
Yeah, that's what I
tribesmen? I don't know.
we haven't gone down this road on this show, but that's a fair point. Me being of the Native American heritage, I can speak to this. I've always often thought that you really want to, show that we never intended to mean any harm with this name. You do that. You go to the local tribes of that area, and you get their blessing, and you have like. You bring them in. You celebrate their heritage in a true way. You don't just, take advantage of their heritage and try to make money off of it.
Right. I mean, that's what
Exploit
we've
them.
been doing for a long time.
But exactly.
Yeah.
What you do is you work with them to embrace their history, to make that part of your history, and that way, it's a positive thing instead of an ugly
Yeah.
negative thing, like
Yeah.
calling someone the Redskins.
Yeah. And here's the deal. Do I think that there were a bunch of like Klansmen sitting around like, we should start playing some football here in D.C.? We're going to call it. Well, we can't call it this one, So we just call it Redskins. Nobody cares about them scalp-happy red men, Which now hey, listen, it's a bit. Leave me alone.
Yeah, and that's truly the way that the image was portrayed early on was as a savage.
Yeah. And
Hey, look at the Cleveland Indians logo. This big, drunk, red-faced, toothy grinned abomination that they put out in my face all these years.
So here's the deal. Like, if they could have taken...
Sorry, it just always irritated me.
Yeah, but if you would take the offensive imagery out of Cleveland and the offensive name out of Washington and kept Indians...
Yeah.
Because I don't think that Indian people are upset by being
or
called
even
Indian.
celebrated a tribe locally.
Yeah, like what if it's I'm just going to
Yeah,
use
I know.
Oklahoma tribes, okay?
Fair enough.
So like it's like Cherokees. It'd be like the
Yeah.
Cleveland Cherokees.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? The Washington Choctaws. What's wrong with that? There's no, I understand that those tribes are probably not from those areas. Please forgive.
I
But-
guess what it comes down to is some people take offense to,
Sure.
something like a nationality being used as a mascot for a team.
Sure.
However, like what we're talking about is like akin to like a brave. A brave is a type
Yeah.
of a Native American.
Sure.
He's a warrior.
Yeah.
When you're playing a game, your imagery you're wanting to invoke is like
Yeah.
of war, of battle.
Yeah.
We're the toughest. We're the baddest.
Yeah.
We come prepared for war, more
Yeah.
or less. So brave makes sense. That kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
So you're right. Change it, embrace it
Yeah.
some, but and like pull in like where it's not from hate-filled area.
Yeah.
We're gonna make our we're the savages.
Yeah.
It's like really.
Oh, okay. What's your mascot? It's monkeys. Oh, is it?
Is it now?
You're like, oh man, it's chimpanzees. It's actually chimpanzees. Why don't you call yourself the chimpanzees? Here's my next point on this. Okay, the reason I say to not get rid of the Native American theme is because aren't we now, in the name of progress, whitewashing more stuff?
Exactly.
Like that's always been my issue with a lot of the
Preachy renames.
yeah, and I'm like,
The Guardians.
yeah,
Like really.
really, right? Yeah, what's he look like? A 17 or a 1700s Minuteman. He's white.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all I'm gonna say is you can't have your cake and eat
The
it too.
Cleveland Honkies.
Yeah, man. See, I still stand behind the Cleveland Caucasians. I would have rooted for that team.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, but look,
Nobody has a sense of humor like we do. They can't joke about these
Nobody
things.
has a sense of humor at all
all.
anymore. It's like, oh, it's offensive. Holy, I know it's offensive. That's why I said it.
Right? There's some things that are done for the shock value, for the humor. That way you can get that poison, that vile humor
Out. Yeah,
Out.
but before it turns into actual like
feelings.
Yeah. Like I get so annoyed by all this. Like, you know what? I'm getting into a way different subject. We'll next week on the Hoot Hobbs show. We'll get into
We're getting
that.
our shows mixed up this week. It's
yeah,
all good.
Yeah, it is. It's whatever. So
But no, I agree
What?
with you. Changing these names is just exactly that, whitewashing history. Because
Yeah.
what we're doing is we're running from the time when we named a team something that offended some people.
Right, and
Because
here's
we
the
didn't
deal.
take into consideration the feelings of someone else.
But here's the deal. How many times a day, and if the answer is many, then that's fine. But how many times a day do you sit around wondering, I probably shouldn't get up and walk across the room right now. It might offend somebody. You don't think like that.
Well,
Nobody.
I'm obsessive in my own head, so I might. But I understand. I understand the point.
Yeah,
You're saying.
I got you.
Yeah, I overanalyze every single thing that I do.
Sure.
From a cough in a room.
Yeah. Oh, that might have been rude. Me, I'm just kind of a normal person.
Yeah.
And we've been down long enough. I tell you, you're weird, man. But
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, I still love you. It doesn't change nothing.
It didn't change it. The fact that I'm weird. Okay, I'm gonna go home and go hide in my weird cave.
Yeah, say it's okay. I'm weird too, just in a different way, because I'm more of an extrovert or you're more of an introvert.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with that. All I'm going to say is, don't complain to me about how we're whitewashing sports. If you get mad every time we put up a name that someone else says, I understand they're offensive. I get it. But
That's again what I'm to is if you're not going to embrace it and try to fix it,
yes.
then change it
Completely.
Like, change it completely. Change the color scheme.
Yep. If I was
Treat
Washington,
it like an expansion team.
you know what I would have done? If I was the owner of the Washington Redskins when they were the Redskins, and it was like, hey, you have to change the name, I'd have been like, dope. Put the team up for sale. And they'd be like, what? Be like, yeah, sell the franchise.
That's a whole nother story for another day, my friend.
Yeah.
Dan Schneider and the Washington Redskins and what's going on with that right now.
Well, yeah, no kidding. You're right.
Yeah,
That's-
Washington Commanders, Commodores, What the fuck
Commodores.
are they? Commanders. I think it's Commanders.
I think it's
Commodores. I don't know. I don't care.
Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is the Commodores.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so it's Commanders in
Commanders.
Washington.
But I think they should have picked a different color scheme. I think they should have changed everything. I feel like Washington missed an opportunity to make a lot of money here because everybody would have still had to buy all the old Washington Redskins memorabilia and crap. While also, I got to get that new thing.
Yeah,
It's our
got to
new
get that
team.
new,
Yeah,
set
and,
new.
and plus you have an opportunity to market to a younger demographic of player that you're trying to bring in now.
I just feel like they should have got rid of a football team in Washington all the way around. I feel like that has more to do with my personal beef with, or I guess I should say my fanatical beef with Washington.
I mean,
They could, but if you need to make things even, Steven, we can also get rid of Philadelphia. How you like that?
It's got to be on the West Coast too. You got to even things out that way. It's got to be.
All right, fine. Sell the Eagles to California. Somebody will buy them. I mean, there's like 14 teams in Los Angeles now.
Stick them in Sacramento.
Stick them in Sacramento. Oh, crap. What's Deshaun Watson doing?
He's settling the majority of his cases.
Like 20 out of the 23, right?
You know what I realized? I thought it was like 28 at the point whenever
Yeah.
when he settled, there were only like 2 that he hadn't settled. It's like, wait, I thought there were more.
Yeah.
But no, he's close to getting them all settled, and now the ball is in the court of, I can't remember her name. It's Sue something, but she's the arbitrator for the NFL to now decide his suspension.
Now, for those of you who may not know, BT is going to fill you in on what are these cases? Because,
Sexual misconduct.
sexual misconduct, he says. Huh. You know what they call that if BT or I do it? A sex crime. That's what they call that.
It
but if you're Deshaun Watson, It's sexual
misconduct.
You were a little inappropriate whenever you whipped your junk out in front of people.
So you know what the allegations basically equate to.
It was that he had revealed himself to somebody. Was at least one of the? Did he already settle that one?
No, well, that's kind of it.
Okay.
What it is he's been getting these massages, but he's been finishing him.
What?
Yeah, he's been.
Yeah.
He's been doing that, and
Yeah.
it's been making these masseuses incredibly uncomfortable because that's
You
not
don't
part.
say.
That's not part of the job, and he's using it under the excuse that it's not happening on purpose. It happens involuntary.
So he's not actively.
No, he's achieving release.
Wow. Okay. So in that case, I will actually take a step back on this because that's not really. I mean, you can't call that a crime if he's not actually like.
I don't know from some of the way that the allegations are damning. I think it may be something that he can control. He's leaning into that. That's his excuse.
Okay.
His attorney is arguing that he can't help it. He's just getting a massage and he has.
But when you keep going back,
control. He has no control.
Yeah, when you keep going back asking for specific masseuses, or.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So yeah, it's a
that's an uncomfortable
sticky
conversation.
situation to say the least. Thank you.
Gross! Oh,
But no, for real. Now they have to settle this stupid thing, and they have to come to a decision of how many games. And I've heard everything from all out ban him from the league to 1 year.
well, okay. So
I think we're starting at least 1 year. That's where the meter starts running.
Okay.
But for the sake of comparison, we do have other offenders that have been found of sexual misconduct in the NFL for a single offense and got as much as like 6, 7, 8, 9 games. There have been multiple games.
Yeah.
I think even one of them was as high as like 16 games, like almost a season.
Yeah.
For one count.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with a lot of counts.
bet
I
say-
would ban him. That's
yeah,
the thing.
I better say, yeah. At this point, I'd be like, if nothing else, you're a creep.
Yeah, you don't get away with that.
Nah, like I said, here's the deal: if you do not act upon it, you know what I'm saying. If you don't commit a physical act, to make that happen,
See, that's where we're going into the misconduct as opposed
to a crime.
This is more or less he's taking jollies in a situation that
Yeah.
he shouldn't be taking jollies.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't sound like it's a crime, but it does sound like, bro, it happens every time you come in here and you keep requesting me. I'm getting creeped out.
Yeah, and you keep having this, and that's where it comes. Where's the organization complicit for this? Because they were the ones providing these services by continually allowing him to get these massages. So it's.
I don't know where he's going, bro, but
I don't either. He's going to have to pay out some serious cashola. Going to be interested to see where the Browns go with this one as far as what you do. They've already looks like they're going to cut bait, and Baker's gone. Like they've moved past the Baker Mayfield.
I'm going to go ahead and say this: Baker Mayfield has cut off his nose to spite his face.
Right. He could have been sitting pretty right now.
He
with all
could have
this.
been, bro. And what? One more season, then he's free agent.
Right. If he
Like,
went,
what are you
if he went
doing?
out there and lit up this season and saved this season as the backup quarterback,
Yeah.
you know what of a legend he would be, how much money he would be worth.
Oh yeah, exactly. And where do you want to go? Wherever you want to go, that's where you're going to end up, Baker. But no, he's like, I'm Baker Mayfield. Okay, I come from OU, which makes me better than everybody. Shut up, you idiot, you hillbilly. Just take the money and sit on the bench. Bro, you're
Earn
better.
your stripes.
Yeah.
Earn your stripes. That's all we're asking is shut
Yeah.
up, play some ball, and then after a couple Pro Bowl seasons and a playoff run, then pop your mouth.
Yeah, but whenever you haven't even completed your rookie contract yet, and you're like, I deserve more. Okay, I'm from OU.
And his contract was already one of the highest in history.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're like, listen, Baker, we can't do that.
What
He's like, boomer.
What it really was is I don't want to play for Cleveland anymore. That's really what it is.
But, the city of Cleveland just like loved him.
Yeah, they embraced him full on.
Loved him. And he was like, I hate you.
It's because of the Guardians, man. It comes back full circle. They got a bad name. They got a bad name.
Yeah, that's
bad
right.
name, bad city. Just that bad juju. Just
I mean, don't
seeps
get me
in.
wrong. I wouldn't want to be in Cleveland either, but like at this point,
What do they got? Drew Carey and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I mean, they do have Drew Carey though.
Oh yeah, LeBum
Well,
James.
Well,
Oh
but,
wait, he went out west.
I would say, but so did Drew.
It's true.
He does the
And he
prices
lost,
right now. so-
and he lost half of Drew Carey.
yeah, he's just Drew now. It's weird. Okay, so
Let's start with the Kyrie Irving before we dive into analyzing the draft and the Bulls.
Kyrie, bro.
So the story is that Kyrie Irving is all out basically. Well, now he's re-signed it. He's re-signed the deal for his contract, but he's already laid out the gauntlet that he doesn't want to play in New Jersey anymore. And here's the list of people that I'm willing to be traded to.
It's a good thing he's in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, my bad.
It's still the Nets, but yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Jason Kidd too, bro. We're good.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, but he just wants out of there, and he wants to go apparently to play with LeBron James again.
Okay, so Kyrie and LeBron in Cleveland. There was some magic.
Yeah,
There was some magic there. Do you think? Fast forward. What are we talking? 10 years? Maybe not 10, but the better part of a decade.
Yeah,
Do they still have that magic? Right?
I would say probably, but
Yeah, because I think that LeBron and Kyrie are both.
yeah, because you got to remember, Kyrie left Cleveland because he wanted out of Cleveland. He wanted more money, so they sent him to Boston, and that was a thing in itself.
Yeah.
But and then LeBron, took his talents to
Everywhere else.
Hollywood, I guess. But anyway, he got the hell out of Cleveland. But that still doesn't say that dynamic duo that they had going there wasn't capable of more of a run. It was always a matter of Kyrie staying healthy.
So, yeah, I agree with that. And Kyrie has kind of mastered the art of not being an NBA player while still being an NBA player.
Oh yeah, he has so many off-court things that he's involved with, including some of the philanthropic things that he does, which are really, really remarkable.
Yeah, they are, and that is a very positive note. I was looking a little more surface deep on that. Cat's played like 15 games in the past 3 seasons, so like there's that.
Yeah, he can't stay healthy. That's the problem. Is he's never played a full season since like 2018, 17, whatever that last season that he was actually healthy.
Yeah.
He hasn't played a full season because something's always come up.
Yeah. So Brooklyn will keep him because why not? Right?
Well, that's the thing is he's wanting to supermax his contract. He's
Right.
wanting the top tier money. Nobody makes more money than me.
Yeah, right. But
And
you
the
don't. You
owner-
have to play basketball games for that to happen.
And the owner says, no, I'm not going to pay you that. You haven't proven to me that you deserve that. So
Yeah,
we're
so-
not going to give you that.
Sounds like he's a smart guy.
And that's kind of where we've come at. It's like, well, you need to honor your contract. And at the other end, it's like, I have honored my contract. I have this option. I don't have to sign it. It's like, well, it's right. You don't have to sign it,
Yeah.
but you have to take less money if you go elsewhere.
Yeah.
So he's signed it.
Yeah.
So he's still in the New Jersey Nets.
Yeah,
the
he's-
Brooklyn Nets. He's
yeah.
still there. But
Well, I know that
I think they're just waiting for a sign and trade.
they're waiting for LeBron to give him a call. Say, yeah,
They're-
we'll take him.
GM LeBron, because apparently
Yeah.
he's the GM, the head coach, and player.
He's something. He's something. I don't know what, but so yeah, Kyrie. Who knows with that guy?
But the reason that's important is because of the potential ripple effect.
Yeah.
He goes out west. KD's already all but said, "I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I am not staying here." And there are a number of places where he's been rumored to go.
Well-
Amongst the Chicago Bulls, is the name that has popped up for Kevin Durant. The problem is there's not enough moves that they could
Yeah.
make to find a spot for him
Yeah.
to be.
I would say I think that And listen,
It would be a matter of, honestly, they would be getting rid of probably either DeMar or Zach in order to accomplish it.
yeah, and that's not worth it to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to cut down KD at all.
I don't know. I'd trade either one of them straight up right now.
For KD?
For KD. But
man.
it's not, they won't make the trade because they wouldn't make that trade.
Yeah, but KD's had some. And not, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say KD's trash. That's not what I'm getting at. And you know, I'm not a KD fan.
Yeah.
But the dude's great. You know, but you know, he's had health issues.
True. And he's getting older in the tooth. And then
Exactly.
Zach would be the one that I would hedge the bet on because he's younger than DeMar. But
Yeah.
I think there's more upside to KD than DeMar because they're very similar in age.
Yeah.
And Durant has bigger size and is more
And
of
has a sweeter three.
perimeter threat.
Yeah, because DeMar has
Neither
got
one
that
of them play
mid range.
defense.
Neither one of them play defense at all, so it doesn't matter. Tell you what, since we're talking about it, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Who in the hell is Dalen Terry?
That's what I said on draft night.
Golly.
I thought it was going to be EJ Liddell. I really did.
You
'cause
thought
I heard
EJ?
that- I heard that name over and over
Yeah.
to fit that spot, and he was exactly in that role that we
Well,
thought that they
but-
were going for.
And see, I was fingers crossed because, you know, it's something we needed. There's a history of drafting Razorbacks. I was hoping to see Jalen Williams go there because he would fill that power forward slot that we'd so desperately need. And I know everyone's like, what about
6'10", 6'11".
What about Patrick Williams? Well,
What about him?
I'm not impressed by him. Okay,
He had one game where he went off.
yeah, and ever since then, people were like, P. Will got it going. I'm like, no, J. Will has it going. We need to get that kid. Where did he end up? Oklahoma City.
We're right with the other Jay.
Yeah,
Jalen
yeah.
Williams.
So now you got Jalen Williams and his teammate Jalen Williams. Well, there's J. Will and J. Dub. Shut up. Get out of here with that.
The thing is they're both remarkable talents, so you can't even say they did it for the novelty of the two
no,
names.
they're both awesome.
But at the same time, I do kind of feel like they did it for the name a little bit.
Yeah,
So they could
we've
do-
already seen the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, they immediately on the first media day took advantage of it to make a picture, photo op.
They did. It was corny.
So
I loved it, but it was corny.
I don't know who Dalen Terry is either, other than since now that the draft pick's been announced, I've done my due diligence and
Sure.
I've done some scouting. I've watched some game footage of him. I've read interviews. He says the right things. He has amazing upside. His potential is, I see it. I do see it, and
Yeah.
I do see that.
So you think this is a good get?
I think he is a good get. The problem is it doesn't address the void that is needed on the team.
Yeah.
That's where the problem is. Now, if
And
this
I
guy
think
is
that's
the
where my
replacement for
problem-
like Troy Brown Jr. or Derek Jones Jr., fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Whatever. They didn't do anything remarkable for the team at all
Yeah.
last year. Fine. As long as you don't re-sign the other guy. But then when they go out and then they re-sign Tony Bradley, it's making me wonder, are you making any moves?
Yeah.
Really? Because Tony Bradley was part of the problem.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, there's just no
Tristan Thompson was part of the problem.
Tristan Thompson was brought in for the sole purpose to smack somebody in the mouth
And
and,
he
didn't
didn't
do
do
it. Like, I was like, well, this was a failed experiment. Patrick Williams is a failed experiment in my opinion. In my opinion.
Yeah, he was given a grace of an extra year because of the injury. First
Sure.
rookie season, he got, was, remarkable a little bit there. It was like, okay, there's some potential
Yeah, I
there.
was about to say, there's no question about that.
And then he was looking good up until the injury. Then he
Yeah.
got injured, and then he came back and had one game against the Clippers where he played remarkably
Yeah.
well. But that was a Clippers game where you didn't have a fully staffed Clippers team either.
Right.
So what you can't really tell.
Yeah,
off
I
of
mean,
one game.
we're trying to compare apples to oranges. when it
And
comes down
I
to
still
that.
don't see him as the power forward because what the Bulls need is a 3 and D. They need a power
Yeah.
forward that's a 3 and a D. They
Yep.
really do
Yep,
because
I agree.
they don't have that threat at all.
The Bulls' biggest problem is their best defender is. Well, that's not fair. Their only defender is Alex Caruso.
Lonzo Ball, when healthy, is
Okay,
also a
okay.
great
You're
defender.
you're. We just didn't get to see a lot of Lonzo this year.
True.
He's kind of like a solar eclipse.
Yeah, right.
You know,
those
it's very
39
rare.
games that he played were
chef's kiss, baby. Yeah, Lonzo. When
I
Lonzo
still watch
is,
the highlight reels. I go on YouTube and watch them. It's
man,
ridiculous.
But when Lonzo's hot, who is LaMelo? You know
Right?
what I'm
'Cause
saying?
he does it all as well, except maybe not as fancy of the dunks.
Yeah,
Not a dunker.
LaMelo's got a little more pizzazz to him.
Well, I will say I see comparisons to Jason Kidd when I look at Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, I would.
That is who I see.
Yeah.
He is a scoring threat, but he's not he's a scoring threat that you don't realize is the scoring threat because he's
Yeah.
so busy passing out dimes.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
got
oh,
10
yeah.
assists every game, and you don't even realize it.
Yep.
He's that guy.
And whenever you take a step back off of him, he
He'll
drills
drain a
one in
three.
your face.
He'll drain a three. He's
Yeah.
got one of the most unorthodox shots you'll ever see.
It's
but-
gross.
But
His jump shot makes me cringe.
but it's become lethal from three.
Oh yeah, I mean he makes it work for him. I mean, but that's the whole thing. If it's yeah, that's right, man. Hey,
Just every time.
if it's stupid and it works, it ain't stupid.
I know it's
His
like,
shot looks terrible.
It's what
but
the
it
experts
works.
said about Curry. His shot early on was like, why is he jacking up these threes? Nobody's ever going to let him shoot from this distance
Yeah.
in an NBA.
Yeah, and
Fast
he's
forward.
what is he again? The all-time three-point scorer.
Yeah, and he has some jewelry on a couple of.
I mean, he's got
fingers.
some jewelry. You know, he got a whole handful of jewelry.
Yeah.
Well, 4 out of 5.
Almost.
You don't wear thumb rings unless you're a hipster.
He says what I'm wearing.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway. Yeah. So, were there any? I mean, I got to be honest with you. This draft. Yeah, there were.
It was a wet fart. There was nothing to it really.
It was
There's
just.
I will say I feel it is a deep draft as far as your role players you're going to see
Yeah.
on benches coming off of benches for many years to come.
Yeah.
But I don't see anybody out there that's a standout, remarkable player. Possibly the number 1 overall guy has a chance, but there were some skeptics buying into him as well because what has Duke always given us? They've always given us the flashy hype guy that can't cut it in the NBA as a star. Christian Laettner, JJ Redick,
And of course, someone who plays
Chris Duhon.
dirty.
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to name no names, but Grayson Allen's a punk. How about that?
Bulls fans.
Bulls
everybody else.
fans. Yeah. Bulls fans. And everyone else is like, man, screw Grayson Allen, man. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
And you got like Bucks people who are like, yeah, Grayson Allen, all right. I'm like, get out.
You'd hate him if he wasn't on your team. By the way, they have not re-signed Connaughton yet.
They haven't.
They have
See,
not.
Pat Connaughton would be a great pickup for just about any team. Any team.
In particular,
Like Chicago would be a great place
there's
for
a
him to
team that
go.
needs something that he would fill. But
Yeah, because you're talking about 3 and D.
3 and D. But
Pat's got it, bro.
but the thing is that all rumors are he's leaning to re-signing and going
Yeah.
back to Milwaukee. But I think that if he were wise, he would test free agency.
I would if I were him
I feel
because he's
like-
good enough.
I feel like he'd get more money elsewhere.
Yeah, I think he could too, and like Chicago needs him. So.
Because you know that while the Bucks can pony up and pay more to homegrown talent than anyone else can, they're going to invest their money in the Giannis's. They're going to invest their money in the Middletons.
Golly, Chris Middleton, man, I was watching that movie that we talked about last week, Hustle.
Oh, Hustle?
Yeah, and Chris Middleton
Yeah, he's
is
in
in it, and like. Chris Middleton would have to sneak up on a glass of water to get a drink. That man is powerful ugly. Like, oh my gosh, bro. Like, I know that's mean. I shouldn't say stuff like that. I do apologize.
Powerful.
But bro, I remember like seeing him being like, "Ooh,
Oh, God. Somebody opened the Ark of the Covenant?
yeah, like what happened? His face is melting." And they're like, "No, it's just Chris Middleton." I'm like, oh, well, it's a good thing you're a champ, baby. You're a
The
champ.
same thing you said to me last week. Baby can't help his face.
Baby can't help that. He's born that way. Who were we talking about last week? I don't even remember. But I do
it
remember
was
saying
the villain in that movie. The actor, Ben Foster.
oh yeah, yeah. Ben Foster.
Baby can't help his face.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, yeah. So I don't know. Is there really anything more in the draft that? I mean, there really wasn't all that noteworthy stuff in the draft this year. Like, Jay Will went to OKC. That's great,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome. And I see Jalen Williams having a very long and productive.
I agree with you.
Career.
I see.
But I'm not going to say he's ever going to be all-star caliber or anything like that. And I hope
I
I'm
think
wrong.
he's got potential. I really do. I saw
there,
star.
There
in that
is,
kid.
yeah. There is no. I don't think there's any doubt that there's that potential. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being.
He reminds me of a Noah a fiery, passionate
Yep.
player, but off the court as level-headed and chill,
Yeah.
chill and be chill.
Yep. That-
And he can get those hustle points, and he'll be as fiery and passionate, and he'll out rebound you just on pure heart alone.
Yeah.
But I also see him as the guy that the rest of the team's going to love to have on the team because that's a cool motherfucker right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I could get down with that. I think so. But other than the fact that it was a pretty unnoteworthy draft, I mean, we got lots of trades and stuff that are going to be coming up, and that'll give us more to talk about. The draft was kind of a bust this year, if you ask
Yeah,
me.
hopefully free agency does something because right now,
We got to get something in the NBA
I mean,
moving.
Bradley Bill's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, man.
And it looks like Portland's finally starting to build some pieces around Damian out there.
Well, hey, man, who was it that tweeted out KD in a Blazers jersey?
oh yeah, I
Nerd.
saw that too. Yeah, there was that, but I think after they got Jeremy Grant,
Oh yeah,
yeah, they
pulled
filled
the plug
that.
on
They've
that.
pulled the plug on that. But the fact that they went out and they got Jeremy Grant, they're going to be sneaky out in Portland. Don't
Yeah.
sleep on them.
Yeah, man.
Because Dame's not done. He's not
No,
washed.
That's the whole
Contrary
thing.
to
is
what
that-
Colby says, Dame's not washed.
Yeah, see Wayne's bogue on that. Of course, he's also the one who tells you that Russell Westbrook is the best player in
Yeah,
the game.
he said Russ isn't washed either.
Yeah, I was saying, and Russ is very washed. Like it's time for Russ to settle back into OKC, and
I think it'd be great if he were able to return and come off the bench.
I think
If he could, if
I'm
he
talking
could,
about just retiring and go back to Oklahoma City and
You're-
enjoy your money.
You're telling the man to retire. You forget he's just a season and a half away from a remarkable season where he almost averaged a triple double.
Yeah.
So I don't go that far. I don't
No,
go that far.
I-
What I think he needs to do is I think he needs to embrace the bench role, as a Rondo did, as a Derrick
Yeah.
Rose did ish.
Yeah, it was a ish. Yeah, Derrick Rose
He still
it-
starts. For
Yeah.
New York didn't have
Yeah,
a
I would
choice.
say, but it's the Knicks. You know, it's like, what are you going to do? You got Derrick Rose on the bench. It's the Knicks. Put him out on the floor. You have nothing. You have nothing else.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. We got anything else we want to put on sports?
No, brother, I think we're good. We can wrap it up. We've bitched about every decision that the Bulls have made in this
For
offseason.
real. And
Except for re-signing Zach, which they still haven't even officially done yet.
yeah, but that's
They
done.
can't.
I would say all the rumor mills have stopped with Zach.
really have.
So everyone knows what's happening. He's going to get his max deal. Good for Zach. He's earned it.
Which is good because then it opens up the pocketbooks for the Bulls to see what else they got.
Yeah.
Because I honestly hope they don't re-sign a bunch of these guys that were on 1 year from last year.
Yeah.
Please, please, please don't do that.
Yeah, I don't. I'm with you. I think keep your core. You know, keep Caruso, Donsumu.
Yeah.
You know, really. Other than that, like, who you keeping? Like,
I think the starters and Caruso, because the starters Caruso and Dosumu is who I would keep.
yeah, that's it. Other than that,
Everybody else, you.
well,
gotta-
not all the starters. Get Patrick Williams out of there. Sorry,
technically he
I don't know.
wasn't always a starter. It was Javante Green was started most of those games.
Yeah, but Javante Green is garbage too.
He
so-
is, but I feel has a role on this team if they move him back to a shooting guard.
yeah, yeah. He's just that's just the problem though. They keep
He's
putting people.
6'4".
They keep putting him at power
And
forwards.
he's 6'4".
Yeah, I was like,
which by the way, he out rebounded several people he was matched up against.
and Vooch.
Yeah, and Vooch.
Yeah, because Vooch is like rebound. No.
Hey, I traded Vooch straight up for Steven Adams in my dynasty, so whatever.
Steven Adams.
He pissed me off because he was so soft. So I'm like, I'm going opposite. I'm getting
Yeah.
Steven Adams. I'm making him wear Rodman's old number. We're
There
doing
you
this
go,
thing.
man. So let me ask you this: like in real life, just like on 2K, Vooch is, like, don't get me wrong, Vooch is a necessary piece to our puzzle.
Yes, absolutely. He's the third piece right now.
He's pretty soft though.
He is
Defensively, he's soft.
There's no doubt about that. The problem is he sneakily gets you almost 20 points, almost 20 rebounds.
I know, and
you can count on it. Like, lock
that's
it
what
in.
irritates me though, is because I'm always every time I watched a game this year, I'm just mad.
Yeah, it's like-
I'm like, Vooch is trash. He will not get
He'll
a
end
rebound.
the game with like 18 points, 17 rebounds.
Yeah. And I'm like, he's not rebounding. He's not rebounding. He's not rebounding. He's not rebounding. 17 rebounds. I'm like, what? I watched the entire game. He didn't get 17 rebounds.
It's like, no, actually, you're incorrect. He's the only one of the Bulls that did get a rebound.
For real. And every time I'm just dogging him.
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying, but I think they need to complete. You keep Lonzo, you keep DeMar, you keep Zach, you keep Vooch, you keep Caruso, you keep Dosumu.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you
Gotta
get,
go.
you get a pink slip. Let's start over.
Yeah, I'm with you. And so, like, who are we going to get? No, we're looking for one. We're going to get a power forward in here,
Yeah.
and then you two off the bench. That's it.
Well, let's see. Marco, Tristan Thompson, Tony Bradley? No.
No.
Javonte Green, Derek Jones Jr., Troy Brown Jr.?
Yep. No.
No.
No to all of it.
Matt Thomas?
No.
No.
No. You know who we need?
Tyler Cook?
No. I don't know who we need.
None of those guys that I named, and that was our bench.
Yeah, I know. That was the entire bench, and no, none of them.
Let them all go.
Every one of them. And just be
I-
like, well, we'll just
You-
spend
you
all
need-
those
yeah,
contract
you
monies
need-
on
You need
on
role
one-
players to come in and fill those gaps. Obviously, you need depth and stuff.
Sure.
But those guys that we're keeping, that's some young athletic talent. You can win with those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Anyway.
Whatever.
Yeah, we'll just move off of this train wreck that we're going to call Garbage Time Sports.
It's in the game.
Ah, you did it.
Damn it.
You did it.
Damn
it. We're getting fined or something. I don't know. No one cares. Anyway, love you guys. Sports stuff. Send us messages about it.
Yeah, if you disagree with us, let us know. If you agree with us, let us know. If you think that they're just the dankest memes on earth, let us know.
Yeah. Oh, hey, somebody hit me up with your weirdest sport that you like to watch. At like curling, whatever. Let me know. I want to know what your weirdest sport that you watch is.
I used to watch Highlight.
What?
The one with the big, like the scoop that they play in Brazil where they throw the thing in the little room. It's kind of like squash, but they throw it at such a high speed. You ever seen the movie Jackass?
Yeah.
Jackass the movie or Jackass 2? Remember the thing where Johnny Knoxville takes one from the guy in the little room?
Oh!
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell on the mic. But yes, I do.
It's
know
Highlight.
that. That's actually
It's like
pretty ill, bro.
it's like squash, but like no.
Yeah.
They throw that ball so fast, and if they get hit with it, that can like kill a person.
Yeah, because it's not like a
No.
rubber ball. It's like a wooden ball.
Yeah, it's
isn't
like
it?
a wooden ball that
Oh
they're
my
chucking at
gosh.
hundreds of miles per hour. Anyway,
Yeah, so
that's the show.
Yeah, that's the entire show. Tune in next week where we talk about obscure sports. The dodgeball tournament's coming up. All right, guys, go balls deep. We'll see you later. Okay, fine. I'll do a better one. You can cut that. I love your face, man. Your face was what?
I was that Pikachu from that meme.
Oh man! Hey, thanks for golly. Thank you guys for sticking with us on Garbage Time Sports. From BT and from myself, we will see y'all on the flip side.
Good night, y'all.